So I'm a waiter, okay? I got no shame in it, all right? I make enough money. I'm not ashamed of my job. Okay, you know what? I like it. You know, fuck you, okay? And you know, one thing that I hate as a person who devotes their life and relies on their living to providing good customer service is shitty customer service. The other day, I was like, man, my fucking back it is jacked up. You know, I was born with a mom who has bad genes. I was born with a dad who has bad genes. Like, hey, we're gonna take our shitty genes and put them in a big soup called cum, and then I'm gonna shove it in your mom's butt, and then you're gonna have a bad back and bad eyes, and you're gonna stutter. I don't have time to go and be like, hey, hi, Mr. Chiropractor. I would like to set an appointment for 5 weeks from now at 3:41 p.m. specific, and I'll arrive 20 minutes early. I'll wait in the waiting room for a half hour, and then you'll do your thing. I don't have time for that. There's this place in this town that does like walk-in chiropractic. It's an appointment. It's a no appointment thing. Okay, so it's like a gimmick kind of, you know, like, yay, you don't need to set up an appointment with us. Just come in and we'll fix you up, laddie. We'll get your back all fucking straightened out. I've had a pretty decent experience with these people before, considering the premise and everything. They can do quite a bit in like 10 minutes. This time I went in there. I was having a pretty decent day. Nothing really dragging me down too much. And there's this lady in the waiting room with me. And I'm like, oh, okay, lady in the waiting room. And she gets a phone call. And as she's on the phone, she just starts fucking bitching about everything. And I know that I'm bitching in this video, but I have a reason to bitch. She was bitching for no reason. She's like, oh yeah, I've been here for 5 minutes and they haven't even got me in yet. This one lady's here with her kids, and her kids are ugly. And oh man, this lady's so ugly. You should see her. Her and her kids are ugly. And I wanted to just take her and take that phone and shove it right up her ass sideways until she stopped breathing because she was so fucking annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, shut the fuck up, stop being a mean, nasty person, and just like enjoy life. You know, like you're here, you got food, you got a house, you know, you got shelter, you're not starving, you clearly have extra money to come to the chiropractor. Why can't you just shut the fuck up and like enjoy it, you know? But anyways, this bitch is like complaining for like a good straight 10 minutes, like, oh yeah, the air in here is it's too airy. I wish there was more humidity. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, no one cares. I'm sure your husband doesn't care. I'm sure he's probably thinking about leaving you because you're such an insufferable fucking bitch. Okay? Shut the fuck up. After a while, she finally goes in, gets her back cracked. So I go up there, and this lady, I can tell she's like having one of those days. And I'm a pretty polite person. Like, I'm not like, hey, bitch, crack my back, and you better do it good, or I'm not gonna fucking pay you, or like some shit like that. I literally walk in. I'm like, good afternoon. She's like, what's bothering you? Like, that's how the interaction went. And I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be one of those fucking days, huh? Okay. So I'm like, just been having some lower back pain, and my neck's been kind of stiff lately. And she just like kind of like points to the like chair, like the operating table thing, and she just like kind of said something, and I just like stood there, and I was like, I'm sorry, and like I'm sorry, and like halfway through me saying I'm sorry, she's just like turn and face the chair. And I was just like, oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't fucking hear you. Sorry, I've been shooting guns and riding loud motorcycles my whole life, and my hearing isn't exactly top A fucking grade, whole size, D, extra large eggs, okay? Sorry, you bitch. So I turned towards the thing, and she has me lay down. And, you know, some chiropractors, you go in there, you lay down on the thing, they grab your back, they feel it, they go, yeah, you're fucked, and then they twist you, and then your back goes, and you're like, oh my god, that's so much better, I can sleep now. But some chiropractors are like, okay, we're going to feel up your upper dorsets, and they just start like molesting you. And then they're like, oh yeah, you definitely need some work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no fucking shit, that's why I'm here. How about you fix me? So she starts like doing all this stupid shit with like this like automated like massager thing. And I'm like, okay, you're just like, you're laying there, and you can just tell that it's not doing any good. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, the jackhammer massager thing is very cool and all, but like, this is definitely not doing anything for my situation. I appreciate you trying to like pull out all these fancy tools and like make it look like you're doing more than you actually are. But let's be real here, that's not doing shit. You definitely got some back problems. How do you sleep? And I was like, on my side. She's like, oh yeah, you gotta sleep on your back. That's the only way to sleep. I tell everybody this all the time. You gotta sleep on your back. I'm like, who the fuck sleeps on their back? A fucking vampire? Nobody sleeps on their back. Nobody's just like, alright honey, I'm going to bed. Just lays on their back, stares at the ceiling until their psychosis puts them to fucking sleep, you know? Nobody who's been alive for the last 800 years is like, time to go for a nap. I think I will lay on my back with my arms to my side. It's like, no, I'm going to put the pillow underneath my dick. I'm going to put my leg over it, and then I'm going to just, like, kind of lay down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's comfier that way. I don't feel like a fucking vampire. And you just shut the fuck up. My back hurts because I sleep wrong, okay? Fix it. Like, I don't need you to lecture me on how to sleep like I'm a goddamn Gargonian, okay? So, anyways, she doesn't even crack my back. She just, like, puts this little massager thing on my spine a couple times. Goes click clack, and like doesn't even do anything. I'm like, okay. And then after a while, she's like, alright, we're gonna put you in the chair. I'm gonna adjust your neck. This annoys me about every fucking chiropractor, okay? Especially the ones at this place, because like I have a feeling that these people at this place have like a quota. Like you can't spend more than like 10 minutes on a client, because then that way they're losing money or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She's like trying to rush this shit. And mind you, there's no one else in the waiting room. Like there's no one else waiting. Nobody's standing there or anything. It's just like her and me in this building. And it's just my head in her hands. I'm like sitting in a chair. She's standing. She's like, put your legs out. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, no, move your legs. And I'm like, okay, where do you go? She's like, move your legs out. So I have my legs like completely stretched out in front of me, and I'm like, I don't think this is like a very good like posture. She's like, get that, that'll work, that's fine. So I like move my legs back towards me a little bit, and she's like, move your legs out. And I'm like, okay, like what the fuck? Like I'm just trying to like adjust myself so I'm comfortable. And she has my head in her hands, and she's like, okay, you gotta relax your neck. You gotta relax your neck, okay? This isn't gonna work if you don't relax your neck. And I'm like, oh, okay, so yeah, that's definitely helping. Like, have you ever tried to relax like any part of your body while another person's like holding you or touching you? It's almost impossible. Like, unless you're literally on the brink of death or overdosing on opioids, like you're not gonna just be able to like turn to a limp noodle. Like, there's just like it's a bodily reaction to not like let yourself get loose. I don't know. It's just something you can't do. Okay, if you can do that, more power to you. But I fucking can't. And when you watch like professional chiropractors do their job, they like take like a minute to make you relax. Like, okay, relax, just relax, breathe in, breathe out. Then eventually you will relax. Because like that's how the human nature works. When you feel safe and protected and stress-free, your body will naturally relax. But this lady's just like, relax, you gotta relax. I can't do this if you don't relax your neck. If you don't turn into a limp noodle, I can't relax your neck. So she's just like rolling my head around in her hands like it's a fucking bowling ball, trying to like get my neck to go limp. And I'm like, sorry, I got an erect neck, dude. It's not gonna work that way, okay? She's moving my neck around and everything, and she goes, are you okay? I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, are you okay? You just don't seem to be very relaxed. And I was just like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm trying to do what you want me to do. And she's like, just relax your neck. So my neck goes limp, and I'm like, just like trying to like hold it, like I'm trying to just like put my head back in her hands. She's like, move your head to the left. So I move my head to the left, I move my head to the right. She's like, you gotta relax your neck. And I'm like, bitch, do you not know how like a fucking human works? Like, I have muscles in my neck that allow my head to move around. And when you tell me to move my head or neck, then that's I gotta flex those muscles and unrelax my neck to fucking move my shit around, okay? You fucking bitch. And so she just starts to move my neck around, and she goes, I can't crack your neck. You're too tense. I'm trying my best here. So she takes this little like, clicky pen thing, like sticks out my neck a couple times. All right, well that's the best I can do since you're not really allowing me to crack your neck. I will do like whatever you want me to do. I'm like, I've been here before. It hasn't been a problem. Like, sorry. And she's like, okay, well, just drink lots of water tonight and just come back if it gets worse. No, I'm not fucking coming back ever. You know. You want to sit here and make fun of me and like ask me if there's something like actually wrong with me because you're a fucking unpleasant person and I can't relax my neck. Then, no, fuck you. You're unprofessional, okay? And tonight, I was at a restaurant, okay, like by myself, mind you, because I'm having personal problems in my life. So I walk in, and the host, like, ignores me. She's just, like, talking to, like, some dude who works there. And I stand there for a little bit, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm not gonna get a table. I'm just gonna go to the bar. So I go to the bar, and by the way, this place had, like, 3 hours to close. I wasn't, like, coming in last minute or anything. I just wanted a bite to eat, and I just wanted to sit there and relax and forget about stuff for a little bit and just have a nice meal by myself. So I sit at the bar, and I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes. Like 3 people walk past me behind the bar. Nobody even like says anything to me. I make eye contact with them. I wave at them, and then like I smile at them. And then after a while, the one lady comes over and goes, "Did you want something? Am I not allowed to eat at the bar?" She's like, "Oh no, you can eat at the bar." Okay. What the fuck? And like, mind you, the place I work at like prides ourselves, you know, on our customer service and our ability to like provide a great experience. And I'm not saying I want to go in there and have them be like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Reddick. Would you like a free dick sucking day, or do you want us to give you a rim job?" Like, no, I don't want either of those. I just want like to be treated like a goddamn human being and not like I'm fucking some sort of weird like you know, I don't know, like Gorgonite or something that just like stinks. It's just weird, you know, weird situation. After a while, I get my menu, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I know what I want to eat. So I set the menu down, face down, away from me, so they kind of like get an idea that I'm like ready to go. And then like after a while, the lady finally comes over like 8 minutes later, and she's like, "Were you ready to order?" And I was like, yeah, I am. I've been ready for a little bit. And like, mind you, this place wasn't slammed or anything either. They were just like, you know, like moderately busy. I was the only person at the bar, and I asked them like several times. I'm like, "Are you sure like I'm allowed to eat here? Because I can get a table." I'm like, you know, I'm a server. Like I understand like if I'm like being a pain in the ass. Like, no, it's fine. Like you can eat here. People eat here all the time. I'm like, all right, that's weird then. Okay, what the fuck ever. So anyways, I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm feeling a little sexy tonight. I might have a little glass of wine with my pasta. I'm like, whenever that lady comes back with my food, I'm going to ask her for a wine. So she comes back with my food, sets it down without even making eye contact with me, and then turns around and walks away. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay, guess I'm not having wine tonight. That's okay. The food looks good. And I look over, and there's no fucking silverware. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I like try to like flag this girl down, but she's like back in the server section, like talking and shit. So I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. So there's this little young lad up at the host stand rolling silverware, a whole fucking box of silverware. And I go up to him and I go, "Hey man, do you care if I have a fork?" And he goes, "Yeah, 1 second." While he's standing next to a roll of 40 fucking rolled silverware rolls, he goes, "1 second." And then he takes a knife and a fork, wipes them down, puts them in a thing, wraps them up, and then hands them to me. I'm like, holy shit. If the service was any faster, I would think that I was being served by the fucking Flash from the goddamn DC universe. Because this is just like the most stupendously fast, efficient service I've ever seen in a fucking restaurant before. Wow. Great job, guys. So anyways, I eat my shit, and I'm like eating it, and I got shrimp Alfredo, and they didn't even fucking take the tails off of the shrimp. So I'm like, a shrimp, and I put it in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, yum. I just got a mouthful of clamshell and shrimp ass and turd. Yum. So I'm seriously thinking about dining and dashing at this point. I'm like, these fuckers don't deserve my money. What the fuck? So eventually, the server comes over, and she's like, "How was everything?" And I was like, well, I'm like, it was okay. And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that." And by the way, my water had been empty for like 15 minutes at this point. And I was like, "I just want my check, and then I'm ready to go." And she's like, "Okay." So like 10 minutes later, I finally get my check. And I was like, "Oh, can I also have a box too?" And she's like, "For the pasta?" I'm like, "No, for my fucking ice cubes." Like, what the fuck else do you think? Yeah, no, I want a box for that guy's food over there, you stupid fuck. Like, no, I want a box just to shit in on my way home, so I don't have to stop at the 7-Eleven up the street and take a shit in their nasty bathrooms. I wanted a styrofoam box to shit in. Please don't put anything in it, because I won't have room for my giant shit I'm about to take in it. Fuck me. So yeah, things have been pretty good. Getting ready for the holidays. It's always kind of stressful. Trying to just get everything in line for that. Hopefully my mom comes up to see me and my sister, because if not, then it's gonna kind of be a bummer. So, but yeah, hope you guys have been having a great holiday season, and we'll see you in the next one.